Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Dragon. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our monthly tarot reading for December 2025 for those with strong Scorpio placements. So, if you have Scorpio as your sun, your moon, or your rising, this is the reading for you. And let us invoke Apollo and the Muses and ask them to shine their light upon Scorpio, to guide them throughout the month, and to help them to realize the beauty of their dreams. So, Apollo and the Muses, what is the empowering and inspiring message for December for Scorpio? Let's take a look. Muses inspire. All right. And our center card in defining image is the Princess of Discs. What glorious, powerful energy, right? The princess represents power, potential, destiny, and motion. The magic of the seven, the ones who sit upon the thrones of Malkuth and take the aces to completion. The energy that represents new life and generation, either empowered works that stand as their own beings, that live on their own, that are created in community, or new life, children, profound, beautiful people who are growing and expanding. Really wondrous energy here. And here is the earth of earth, the princess in the discs, right? The one who comes to transform, to bring us back into that natural power. This is the apex predator, the feminine and her most empowered, the craftsman and the builder, capable of truly transforming the earth. Really profound energy. Where does it take us? And we have the emperor. Wow, right? We were just discussing this energy of the princess. She needs to take the time to blossom, to grow, to really come into her own, to really fulfill herself, right? And in order to do that, she needs the foundation. She needs that core sense of self. She needs that protective energy that can allow her to grow. She needs the emperor. The emperor is the powerful authority, the one who manifests the vision that unites us into action, that cultivates the earth and builds the foundation, who takes charge, who manifests that will and authority, who can bring people together for the sake of action, and who is determined to protect and uplift those around them if they are exalted in the heights of the ideal. Right? This is beautiful energy. We're seeing us called to embody this emperor, to take charge and to protect the princess, to provide for her, to build for her that foundation, and to see her blossom, and then to allow her to leap upon that foundation, to expand into her own heights and come into her own self in true understanding. Wow. We have the Three of Cups, loving generation, abundance, the great mother force in the waters that call us into connection, into harmony, into the weaving. This is not just about love. This is about real community, developing friendships and connections, coming into empowered connection. Right? And what we're seeing here is in order to provide for this child, in order to really see this energy blossom and grow, come into itself, we not only need to be the emperor who can provide for this child, but we need to unite community in that providing of the child. We need to unite community in that building, come together in that shared vision for the sake of seeing this energy blossom and grow. How glorious. Okay. Oh, wow. And look at that. We have the Four of Swords, truce, right? That foundational energy in the air, coming into true empowered perspective, expanding our perspective in the gaining of true wisdom. This is the real beginning of true collaboration in the air. No longer are we in that frustrated energy. No longer are we combative, but now we are collaborative, working together. We've expanded our perspectives. We are sharing our perspectives, and together that flower blossoms. When we all come together and share our wisdom, work towards something greater. We cannot see the flower on our own, but together she blossoms. And this is the true magic of the emperor, right? The emperor is all about uniting this generative power, bringing these people into collaborative energy. And look, when we can have that vision that unites us in truth for the sake of mutual fulfillment, for the sake of mutual protection and building, right? That's what we're doing. The emperor is called to protect that child, but it's called to bring people into this protection, calling them to gain those additional perspectives, to see things from that empowered perspective. Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful. And look at that. The tower, the force of Aries, intense energy, right? When the tower is here, we have to act. We have to either get out of the way or take the hit. and do something about it. But Aries demands innovation, demands change. This is the force that comes to upset the old growth, to bring in new life and generation, to manifest action, right? And what I'm seeing is the Emperor is born out of this collapse. This energy is intense and it's painful, but it's leading to innovation. It's leading us to take charge. It's leading to us to collaborate with the people around us. When we face this energy head on, that's when we can rebuild and come into this loving creation. Without this energy of the Tower rocking us to our core, do we ever wear the guise of the Emperor? Do we ever overcome our limits and learn to collaborate? Do we ever give birth and create and uplift this empowered child? Right? Wow, heavy stuff, but we have to face it, right? Because that's what comes out of it. Powerful. And look at this. This is something we wished for. The star, the magic of Aquarius, reaching up into the heights of the ideal, empowering ourselves in our vision, having the audacity to cry out, to demand, right? If we really wish to manifest our dreams, to empower ourselves in our wish, we have to go out and recognize the power of our ideas. We have to recognize the heights of that imagination. We have to cultivate that vision and cry out in desperation, right? Demand that it be realized, right? And this tower is bringing us to this energy. It's bringing us into that desperation. It's bringing us into this focus and determination when we can really cry out and until the universe takes notice. Wow, wow, wow. The tower is heavy, but it's the tower that is leading us to that magical act, that's leading us to don this responsible crown and become that empowered visionary emperor, right? Wow, that's leading to this new empowered life, this beautiful princess. Without the tower, this energy doesn't happen, right? Wow, wow, wow. Let's continue. And we have the Fool crowning our reading, the Zero, the windbag, primal air. And when we see the energy of the Fool, we're called to just leap after what we love with that purity of childlike wonder, to have the audacity to try, right? The Fool has the sun in their genitals, and they're leaping after their desire with the full intensity of their being, with reckless abandon, right? If we want to create that beautiful child, to see her blossom and grow, we have to just pursue that energy. And it will lead us into all of this, right? We have to have that willingness to try, to not overthink things, but rather to just pursue what we love and to fight for it, to become an emperor, to connect to others, to embrace wisdom, to give birth to new life and generation, to make that wish. All of it takes that audacity, that willingness to try, the childlike wonder and playfulness. And look at this. This is a true initiation experience. This is a true initiation experience, Scorpio. Wow, the two, the high priestess, Aphrodite, Urania, the muse in the absolute heights of the ideal, the hidden light in the darkness, the energy that carries us across the abyss and brings us into the heights of the beautiful, right? Wondrous energy here. And look, this tower moment is our moment of initiation, right? When we can face that collapse, we can become this empowered masculine, take charge of our life and come into flow and harmony, do what we need to do to really engage this. This is the muse guiding us, leading us to our best self, leading us into the power of our dreams, into the heights of the real. But we have to embrace that Fool energy, leap after her. When we hear her call, pursue it. When that tower comes, engage in the way she says, become that visionary, take responsibility, nurture the life that comes out of this, right? Connect to others in loving connection. Really, really, really powerful, right? We got to sit in the darkness and listen in the silence. Trust our deepest intuition, right? Go and find that deep personal muse. Wow, wow, wow. And look at this. We're showing up as the Prince of Wands, right? The reckless youth, the idealistic youth, the heir of fire, right? Like all the princes, this represents transitory energy, someone who's caught up in the heights of their imagination, who's trying to figure out the world and their place within it. But ultimately, the princes need to recognize that they have to commit, that they have to create the self, that they have to come into their passions and embrace loving connection, get down from the heights of the air. And that's what we're seeing here. embracing the waters and making the wish, right? Pursuing their desires, right? Learning to connect in these ways instead of being in that limited form, learning to mature and to become that emperor. This is the initiation. The prince, right, is connecting to their muse and recognizing the need for them to grow up and transform in order to nurture that princess, in order to see this energy come to completion. This is powerful, right? Yeah, we're showing up in this limited, immature way, but when we can listen to our muse, pursue our desires, go through this initiation, we embrace that loving, abundant energy, connect to others, become that true empowered visionary, make the profound wish, unite each other in this collaborative perspective, face the tower and overcome it, and give birth to new life and generation. See this energy through, allow it to really blossom and to grow. All right, that's the message. I hope it resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. And that's our reading for December 2025. I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care, Scorpio.